to live with Iran and Syria and in that orbit, let them live there. History will judge them. They stand for what they stand in, and it's time that everyone, the state of Israel included, recognize the barbaric genocide perpetrated against the Armenians. We have been silent too long. I have one criticism of the state of Israel, and you'll forgive me because I never criticize Israel. I have one criticism against Israel. Why do we call it a blockade when it's not a blockade? There has never been a blockade on Gaza. Look at the pictures of Gaza Marketplace, the pictures of the spas. Look what's going on in Gaza. There is no humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Even the New York Times said that yesterday. It's not a blockade. It has never been a blockade. You know what it is? It's a weapons inspection protocol. And by the way, the inspection of weapons, UN resolution 1860 calls upon the world to make sure arms do not go into Gaza. It is in support of a UN Security Council resolution that Israel inspects ships and convoys to make sure that weapons do not go into Gaza. It is not a blockade. It has never been a blockade. You know, when I was in New York, I was a student in New York. There was a sportscaster, I think he's still working. His name was Warner Wolf. Every night on the news, he'd show sports highlights, and he'd tell you a story, and then he would have his tagline. You know what he would say? Let's go to the videotape. Now, let's go to the videotape. We know what the videotape shows. You know what's been proven this week? For years, many of you have criticized Israel's efforts at public relations. You know what this week proved? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The videotape shows the pictures. The videotape is the evidence. Soldiers are dropping one by one and met by people with knives and clubs who throw them from the deck. By the time the soldiers who put things in order hit the deck, there are 6 Israelis lying on the deck of the boat, bloodied and brutalized. And they come in and salute the heroic soldiers of the state of Israel, who protected their own and protect the state of Israel. Immediately begin treating the wounded and fend off the attackers. If any other country had come down, they wouldn't have been carrying paintball guns. You know that. And any other country had been involved, that whole ship would have been sunk. Because of the extraordinary ethics of the soldiers of the state of Israel, casualties were limited. We mourn the loss of all human life, but the casualties were limited because of their extraordinary, heroic, superhuman restraint. Salute the soldiers of the state of Israel. Heard the audio tape. The Israeli Navy is approaching. They asked the troops, and by the way, if they were interested in having humanitarian goods go to Gaza, it was simple. Israel ships in anything, go to Ashdod. But that wasn't their interest. They wanted to create a free shipping lane for Gaza to get its weapons. That was their intent. We know that. There are Hamas people on that boat. Israel, the news reports reported. You've all seen it. And if they wanted their weapons there, everyone knows the story by now. If you want to know the truth is there. Then you heard the audio tape. The Israeli Navy tells the ship to move back and go to Ashdod. What's the first response from the Turk on the boat? Go back to Auschwitz. The audio tape is there for everyone to hear. Our response is simple. The day when the Jew was weak and defenseless is over. We dream of a future of peace and brotherhood. That is the future of a secure Israel. And one more thing. Don't worry. The future of the Jewish people and the future of the state of Israel will not be determined by the BBC or CNN. The future of the Jewish people is, for the first time in 2 millennia, in the hands of the Jewish people. It's in the hands of the citizens of the state of Israel. I'm so happy to see today our Christian friends from Trois-Rivières and from Montreal who gathered with us. We have friends. The essential foundation of Zionism is exuberant, and some would say unrealistic, but exuberant hope for the future. That's what it means to be a Zionist. And no matter what they say, no matter what they do, it doesn't matter. What matters is what we say and what we do. And the future is secure, and together we say, Yisrael Zion. It gives me great pleasure to call upon an extraordinary individual, a hero for human rights and Jewish rights, Member of Parliament Erwin Cutler.